quickly recap, right? So I've been going live all week. And this is the Measure What Matters series. So on day one, we talked about having standards within your business. Day two, we talked about metrics and getting started with metrics. And then yesterday, we talked about the Mind Your Business Challenge. I was answering some questions that I've received and just kind of giving more information so that you can determine for yourself if this is something that is for you. And then today we're going to be talking about techniques to move your business forward. So thank you for joining me. Hello, hello. Um, so I hope everyone has been enjoying this series because I've enjoyed bringing you this information. And today, um, I really like this topic, right? So let's just say this: I like all the topics because I enjoy business and numbers and the behind the scenes stuff. So all of the topics have been really great for me. So hey. Um, so today we're talking about techniques to move your business forward. So when I say take techniques, I'm really talking about efficient ways of achieving a goal or achieving something or doing something, right? So the great thing about having techniques within your business is that you have established ways of doing things. And hopefully when you are creating these techniques within your business, you are ingraining a bit of yourself in it, right? So your technique is not going to be exactly the same as someone else's. Even when you are adapting techniques, you want to customize them to your business, right? So just to quickly, for those of you who do not know me, I'm Tanya Harrison, CEO of Signal Partners, and hello, thanks for joining me. And I help CEOs that are overwhelmed and frustrated move to a state of confidence, right? And I do that by helping them to create structure and organization within their business. And one of the ways I do that is with helping them to identify metrics and KPIs, because I feel that that is an extremely easy way for people to achieve their goal in the shortest period of time, right? Because you get to narrow your focus. So when we're talking about techniques, I really want you to think about those things that you can implement in your business that you can do on a regular basis to consistently achieve the same outcome or improve your outcomes, right? So just to give you an example, I'm going to take you way back. Like how I did yesterday or the day before when we were talking about MapQuest. So we're going to go way back. But I want to go back to when I was in basic training, when I was in the military, right? So in basic training, they had a fitness test that you had to pass. So in order for me to get out of boot camp and go to AIT, my training in the field that I was going into, I had to pass this physical test. And the physical test, it was composed of three different parts. So you had the running, the sit-ups, and the push-ups. Well, the sit-ups and the push-ups weren't a problem for me. It was the running. And it had always running had always been a problem for me because I didn't like it, and I put in my head that I didn't like it and I wasn't good at it. Kind of like some people do when it comes to numbers, right? Um, so now I'm at this state where in order for me to go to the next level, I have to push past that. I have to pass it. And about midway through basic training, they start giving us the fitness test to see if we were prepared for it. And I would fail the running part of it. So I was terrified. I was like, I didn't know if I was gonna make it out of boot camp or not, which kind of terrified me because I did not want to stay there any longer. Um, so and it was a lot different back then than it is now. Like back then it was like you just stay until you pass, type of thing. So I did not want to stay. But what they started to do was we had our regular PT physical, where we had to um do PT in the morning, and then we would have to do it in the evening for those of us who weren't passing the test. Well, here was the benefit to that, right? Because I learned a lot that I did not know about. I had no idea about, right? Because I because I had mastered doing push-ups, I had mastered doing sit-ups, I hadn't mastered doing um the running. So that's the part that I was failing. But when we did the second session in the evening, which was only for people who weren't passing one component of the exam, they focused a little bit more on us and they gave us more feedback, right? So I started to learn techniques about running that I had no idea that I did not know. So before where I was passing it, when I learned these techniques, I was able to start to improve my time because I had to come in on a certain time. So, like one day we go out there and he's telling me like, hey, private, you can't run with your arms in your chest. You have posture. So he showed me how my posture needed to be with running. And then he told me about my breathing, right? How I needed to breathe. And every time I started to make these adjustments, my time started to improve. I got better. So I improved my performance um, by implementing these techniques. And then one of the biggest ones techniques that he told me about was focus. Um, because I'm running, I'm looking around, seeing what everybody else is doing, who's passing me, who's behind me, and all of that stuff like that. And he was like, "Why are you worried about them? You need to be focusing on you." So it was me adapting these techniques that help me to improve my performance and pass, and pass the exam. So the same applies to business, right? We have to have these techniques within our business. And you get to decide what these techniques are. You get to decide how you're going to use them, but you want to make sure that they are a part of your business and that they are ingrained in your business. And just by using them, you can improve your performance. So, an example of some techniques that are widely used and widely known would be like a SWOT analysis, right? So a lot of people may talk about strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So, you take that and you apply it to your business, but you decide, am I going to do it quarterly? Am I going to do it yearly? Am I only going to do it at goal planning? So you take these and you customize them to your business and it becomes a part of your fabric, right? So every time I do my planning or every quarter, I'm going to do a SWOT analysis. This is something that I do. And you become better and more efficient at it. But then not only that, you start to yield the benefits from it. Um, so another technique would be Pomodoro, right? So you measure or you schedule the amount of time that you're going to work. I don't do 20-minute blocks, I do 90-minute blocks. But helping me to do the 90-minute blocks, it helps me to focus on whatever it is I'm doing at that time, right? Because I know I'm being timed. So whatever task I've allocated for that time, I'm going to stay focused on that. So by picking techniques and implementing them in your business, you can propel your business forward. Um, so we're going to be talking about this in the mind your mind your business challenge because that's a part of it, right? There's a technique to how you pick the metrics for your business. What was the word? The Pomodoro or SWOT analysis? So the SWOT analysis is the strength, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And then the Pomodoro is a technique where you measure, where you time yourself. And they recommend 20-minute increments. I use 90-minute increments. So I actually time myself. I do everything in 90-minute blocks. So for 90 minutes, I'm going to work on a specific thing. And then that's what I work on. So and it like I said, it helps me to focus. Um, but when we're talking about Pama uh oh, you got it? There's a little delay with the on the Instagram. So okay. Um so and then you have time blocking techniques. So there's different techniques that you could use within your business, right? There's some that's going to be specific to productivity that you want to adapt and use. There's some that's going to be um, specific to the analysis of your business. The ones that we're going to talk about next week are going to be specific to helping you to create metrics and KPIs in your business. So we're going to go through like what are some of the techniques that you could use, right? So I'm going to give you um, a technique and you're going to take it back and adapt it to your business, right? You may be able to use it exactly the way I present it to you. Um, but know that you don't have to, right? So as you implement a technique, kind of like I was saying, the Pomodoro, where they recommend 20 minutes, I do 90 minutes. So I adapt it to me, my business, how I work. Same thing applies, right? So when you get these techniques, is not to make you feel restricted, right? It's to enhance your performance, right? So it's to show you things that you may not have known before so that you can implement them in your business and move your business forward. So the ones that we're going to be focusing on are, like I was saying, is how do you select the right metrics for your business, right? So are there going to be some canned metrics that you use that other people use? Yeah, right. Because most businesses measure profit margin, right? So that might be a common one, or revenue or expenses. But there's going to be some that are specific to your business. So how do you know how to pick which ones for your specific business? So I'm going to walk you through some techniques about how to do that. Same thing with KPIs, key performance indicators. How do you pick the KPIs for your business? I'm going to show you how to do that, right? And then you take it and you implement it in your business. And you're going to work with it for a while, and then you're going to see how it works for you, and you'll tweak it along the way, right? But you have to be exposed to these things. Had my drill sergeant, if he had never told me about some of these things when you're running, I would have never known it, right? Because I wasn't taught how to run. I just started running, which is kind of similar to some of us with our business, right? We started our business because we are proficient in something and passionate about something, or passionate about helping or serving a specific demographic, and we go at it. And when we do that, a lot of times we're missing some of the things, right? So I didn't know about those techniques. I didn't know about posture. I didn't know about breathing. Like, I didn't know about these things. And as he shared them with me and I started to implement, because that's the biggest part of it, as I started to implement them, I noticed a change. And it was literally immediately, right? When I started to implement the techniques that he showed me, my time started to decrease, right? So I was able to do the 2 mile run in a shorter period of time, and eventually I shaved like 3 minutes off my time, like in a couple of weeks, just from implementing what he told me to implement. So we're going to talk about that, and aside from that, we're also going to talk about decision making and how you take all of this information and use it to make decisions within your business, because I think that that is um a huge benefit, right? So not only by measuring do you know where you are in relation to your goal, and then you could easily see that, but not only that, you can kind of say, I'm short here. What am I going to do about that? So you can start to ask yourself questions and go through a decision making process so that you can implement a fix for something that may not be working. Um, so we're going to talk about all of that during the Mind Your Business challenge. So hopefully you have signed up. If not, you can go ahead and sign up to join me, and then join me for the VIP session as well. It's going to be an awesome time. You're going to walk away with some tangible tools that you can start using right then and there in your business. Each day you're going to be walking away with things that you can implement within your business. But are there any questions about like techniques and how you could use them in your business? And for those of you that are joining me live, do you have techniques right now today that you have implemented in your business that you're using? Like, I'm a big fan of time blocking. Like, huge. I love it. You know what I mean? Time blocking on my calendar, making sure that I color code. I like the color code, so I know when I'm doing client work versus creating content or whatever it is that I have set up for today. So if you're using any techniques, be sure I got lipstick on my be sure to let me know. Drop them in the comments. Maybe it's something that I want to try out. But again, for those of you who have not heard about the challenge kicks off next week, Tuesday. I'm going to drop the link where you can. We've been trying to be more scheduled with our monthly sales reports. So you mean capturing the data to determine how many sales you had and what products is moving and things like that, or tell me a little bit more about that. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. That yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Customer retention reports. Absolutely great. Yeah. And so putting yourself on a schedule is it, right? So making sure that you are doing things the same time every week. Well, so here's the thing when it comes to, especially when it comes to sales reports, I recommend doing that on a weekly basis. But again, we have to do what works best for us. But I like doing things on a weekly basis, especially if it's something that is in relation to my goal. I like reviewing it on a weekly basis, and then that way I have time to adjust along the way and still meet my monthly and quarterly goals. Um, I saw Regina saying that she started trying the time blocking. How do you like it so far? It's extremely helpful for me. Um, so we analyze our customer retention rates and we use the data to make decisions on how we move forward for the next month. Perfect. That's it. That's exactly what you need to do. um, but yeah, makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, so definitely think about what it is that you want to do. If you have a KPI around it, and we'll talk a little bit more about this in detail next week. But if you have a KPI around it, I would definitely recommend doing it on a weekly basis. Your regular business as usual metrics, those are the ones that are you could do monthly, right? So you don't have to do them weekly. You could do those monthly. Those are, I call them BAU, so they're business as usual. And those are the ones where you're just basically keeping a pulse on your business to make sure that you're headed in the right direction and that you are on track, right? The KPIs are the ones that are really going to grow your business because those are the ones that are directly related to your goals. So you have the metrics that are, yep, I'm doing good. I average, whatever my say visitors to the website, whatever you decide as a business as usual metric, you're going to have those. But if you have some specific goals, like I want to serve more people, you know what I mean, and things like that, or I want to increase the number of return customers, then those you may have KPIs around. You're definitely going to track them on a weekly basis because you want to make sure that you're able to impact those. So that is good. You haven't tried color coding yet. Don't overdo it, right? So just pick a couple of colors. But um, for me, I like it because now the way my brain works is that when I go in and I look at my calendar, I automatically know what it is that I'm supposed to do for the day based off the colors. So it definitely helps. But I don't use a whole lot of colors, right? So but try implementing techniques in your business in different areas of your business. You will see if you remain consistent, right? If you remain consistent, you'll start to see your business improve. Makes complete sense. Yeah. Yep, glad that was helpful. So I want to thank you for joining me. And again, I'm going to put the challenge details in the comments. So if you have not registered to sign up, you can do that. We're going to be going 3 days plus the one day on Friday, which is the VIP session. And during that VIP session, and it's just an automatic upgrade, you'll be able to ask questions that are specifically related to your business, right? So thank you. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you got something out of it, and I hope to see you next week. And you have a wonderful day. And I'll be back here tomorrow with our final day. So I've been doing good with the lives. I've been showing up, like I said. So I'll see everybody tomorrow. Make sure you have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.